President Moon Jae-in meeting with the heads of South Korea's biggest conglomerates and business associations. The meeting followed Japan's surprise move last week when it slapped export restrictions on 3 products critical for manufacturing semiconductors and displays, the backbone of South Korean exports.
We can't rule out the possibility that the situation will be prolonged, despite our diplomatic efforts to resolve the issue. It is a very regrettable situation, but we have no choice but to prepare for all possibilities.
Moon's government has labelled the restrictions as vengeful retaliation for a Supreme Court ruling last year ordering some Japanese firms to pay compensation to Koreans forced into labour during Japan's colonial occupation of the peninsula. President Moon says his government will mobilise all resources, including tax breaks and financing, to ensure that in the long run, South Korea can produce its own high-tech materials.
There is a fair possibility that this will go into a long term.
In the short term, a global supply chain disruption is expected.
So there will be a large disruption in global supply of memory chips and displays, and it'll affect not only Korea, but United States, China, and Japan as well.
Could this trade dispute escalate further?
That's what Japan is threatening. They may decide to put more goods off the so-called white list, where you're on an expedited procedure to get these items from Japan.
Seoul said it's seeking an economic, not an emotional response. Though the dispute has sparked protests in South Korea amid public calls for a boycott of goods and tourism to Japan. Barton, CGTN, Seoul.